Classes and IDs are a kind of label that you can add to your HTML so that in your CSS you can specify specific elements out of multiple similar elements. Let me show you how this works. So in this HTML here, I have multiple paragraphs. I have this paragraph here, and I have this paragraph here, and also, so I've got three. I'm just going to remove this strong here. What I can do if I want to have a different style for each of those paragraphs, because as you guys know, if I target all of the paragraphs with a declaration, maybe a color, all of those paragraphs will turn red. But I can actually add a label into my HTML for a class, and I can give my class my own name. So that name can be anything that I think of that is useful for me. So in this instance, it might be opening paragraph or something like that. So this is not a technical term. This is just a term that I have created so that I can differentiate this paragraph from this paragraph by using this class. Okay, so then I can have all paragraphs with a font size, with a font size of 6 pixels, which is very small. You can see they get really small. But I can specify this class that I have established for myself and I select that class by, if it's a class, I put a period, and then I put the class name, and then I put my declaration. So I might say font size is 20 pixels. And you can see I've made that one a little bit larger than the rest. And I'll make it yellow. Okay, so I've used a class there to differentiate this paragraph from the rest of the paragraphs in my design. You can do exactly the same thing with IDs or identifiers. Although IDs should only be used once in a HTML page. So whereas I can add this class to maybe this paragraph tag down here, and that should change this paragraph down here. So I can add that class multiple times throughout the HTML. So classes can be added heaps of times, but an ID, although it operates exactly the same, you should only use it once per page. And I might just show you how I would add an ID. It would be exactly the same. I'm going to just go back to this initial state. But I'm going to do it to the I'll do it to the paragraph tag again. Doesn't really matter. Adding the ID, giving the ID a name or a label, can be anything that you want. Maybe I'll just call it large text. Do it inside quotes, so ID equals quotes and then large text. And then to target that ID, we use a hash symbol. So instead of the period, it's a hash. And hash and the ID name, so large text. I'll make it font size. And there you can see it's rendered that in the viewport there. So we use classes and IDs to target specific elements where we've got multiple elements on a page, so that we can pinpoint specific elements that need differentiation.